Well, hello everybody, welcome back to Thieges StarCraft YouTube. Pretty much what I do here is I find good ways to expunge energy after eating large quantities of Sherry's Oreo shake. Of course, I didn't actually finish the shake. I sort of kind of had just a little bit because, well, there was a big giant lightning storm that was coming our way, and we decided it was good time to get the hell out of there. Just kidding. Right before the chocolate shake, I actually had a large pen pasta serving. And it's just not good for you to eat that much food, especially, man, as skinny as I am now. If you excuse me, I have to loosen my belt. Because that was like 2 hours ago that I did that, and okay, it's more like just an hour ago. And it's about that time that's appropriate that, you know, your belly starts to expand past the point of, you know, just plain being comfortable. Anyway, what I have for you today is another game of StarCraft 2. Oh, what a shocker, between our favorite Protoss, Breath, because he's the guy that submits me replays ever. That's pretty much it. Excuse me. And his opponent of today is going to be Brian, the Zerg player in the top left-hand corner. We are going to be playing on the map called Ohana, L-E. Ohana Beach, I do believe. There are some beaches around here. Yes, that looks like a beach to me. Kind of. Hey, look, a little campfire on the side. I wonder how much CPU time is wasted into rendering that fire and the smoke coming off of it. In Fraps, I don't see any extra frames being sucked out of the performance, but, well, that's just because this is rendered on a computer with a GeForce GTX 560 Ti and a Core i5 Intel processor rated at 4.2 gigahertz. Yes, I am OCing the hell out of it. Anyway, Brian starting off with a hatch spawning pool first. I mean, a pool first. Because, well, you gotta have a nice little place where the kiddies can play. A pool. Although I don't think I would ever want my kids swimming in a vat of giant green acid. No, that would not be good for their skin. Although sometimes, since we're so close to Hanford up here, they like to assume that that's what we do all the time. Haha, anyway. And that would be the reason why Brian has not expanded yet, because there's a big giant pylon in his way. Thank you, Breath, for that, as he meanders his probe over to Brian's natural, his third, to see when he's going to take that base as well. Breath with his nice little expansion up here. Let's get that production tab up here before something important happens that we might miss with a forge fast expand from our Protoss Breath. Brian now getting the pylon out of his natural and putting down his hatchery and meandering his queen down to the natural. I say meandering way too much because I like it. I like the way that the word forms in your mouth. Meandering. It's a vocabulary word. It means to shuffle. Do not quote me on that. I was gonna say don't argue with me, but I don't know for sure. But I do know that meandering means like it's like a slow shuffle. You know, very casual. And there's the third going up for Brian now. Very quick third, and his overlord is ready to relay any information back to the home base as to whether or not he's going to move out. I would rather have my overlord up over here, but that just goes to show you how good Brian is. Oh, nope, there he goes. He's going to make his overlord go somewhere else. Breath with the nice little probe timing for the scouting at about 5:30 to see whether or not his opponent is going to be taking that third, and yes, he sees that Brian is indeed taking that third. How many Zerglings do we have on the field for Brian? There's 3 right there breaking down the rocks. There probably should be some Zerglings right outside of Breath's natural here to see when Breath is going to move out, but he doesn't have any units per se yet. So Brian is going to take the opportunity to make some drones here. Let's see how far ahead he is in the production. He should be pretty far ahead. He is not. He only has 29 drones so far. Kind of bad for him. As we take a look at the income tab, he is they're about even. 27 to 34 harvesters. What? Of course, they're even in minerals, but Breath needs a lot more gas for his build, so there's an even drone count from Brian. Finally, almost, just about, not quite anymore. Breath just took the lead in that as well, but we're not going to hold that against Brian today, as Breath comes in with a pylon right outside of Brian's third. He now keep in mind that Breath knows that third is there, so he's going to put that pylon right outside there so he can warp in some quick reinforcements as he attacks that third. And he's going to take this watchtower right up here, right up next to Brian's natural, to see what kind of unit composition he's going to go. Does he know this roach warren is there? Let's see if he knows. No, he doesn't. He doesn't even know the natural is there. But you can assume easily that if a Zerg has his third, he's going to have his natural. And now with 5 zealots going in for a nice little harass on Brian's third, with the 6th zealot joining in later. I'm sure he's going to be warping in more zealots as he goes, sending in 1 roach and leaving 1 drone behind. Oh no. 3 queens now making an appearance with a couple of roaches for backup. Is that going to be enough to take out these zealots? I don't think so. Or it could be. Especially if Breath decides to... Oh, no, sacrificing a zealot there to let the rest escape, and they do get away indeed. Not doing too much damage to that third base. Let's take a look at the units lost tab. Which is right there, 2 workers killed in that engagement. Not that bad of casualties for Brian. Not worth the 2 zealots that Breath did lose in that fight. Die. Anyway. And now plenty of roaches on the field for Brian to defend against any further pushes. I thought I heard some banelings being morphed in, but no, those were just overseers being morphed in. 3 total. Probably 1 for each base, as Brian is now probably going to fear some DT play. Does he have a reason to fear DTs, though? I don't know. Let's go ahead and find out. No, he doesn't. So those overseers should probably be the only ones that Brian makes this game, with a nice little spine crawler in the middle of the third. I don't think I would put it right there, though. I'd probably put it right down here. As well as that changeling. I probably wouldn't put that right in the middle of my base either. Probably what I'd be doing if I were Brian right now is I'd be looking for that pylon, which Brian is going to do right now and take it out swiftly with 1 shot. The probe goes down, and this changeling is going to meander all the way across the map here. Is he actually going to... Oh, no, there he is. There he goes. You know what? I'm surprised that photon cannons don't pick up changelings. You know, you'd think that the mechanics for changelings would be the same as cloak units. But since they only take 1 shot to go down, I guess that does even it out quite a bit. Brian now making his way across the map with a small amount of roaches. It's not going to be enough to take on... Oh, it's definitely not going to be able to take out Breath's army with 2 immortals thrown into the mix, unless he's very careless with his immortals. But then he'd have to be careless with not only his immortals, but his sentries as well. Here comes a nice big engagement from both of our players. And of course, yes, there we go. Roaches getting trapped and annihilated, just as I predicted. And Breath was, fortunately for himself, not careless with that. And Brian barely getting away with 10 roaches. Now Breath is what he's going to do, he's going to just sit back and macro up more, make some more drones, get some upgrades, and then pump out a couple more immortals, probably some colossi as well. And then move out later with those, although with the double Robo Bay and more gateways on the way, I don't think we're going to see some colossi anytime soon. That's more of a unit that Breath likes to get versus other Protoss, or perhaps versus Terran as well. But anyway, Brian now desperate to make something happen. He knows he's already very far behind in this game. He has a full complement of roaches here in a nice little army making their way down the map. And they're probably going to attack a different base, hopefully. But of course, if they attack here, they're going to just get themselves trapped anyway. So he's hesitating a lot with these roaches. Does he have anything else on the way? Well, his hive tech is fine. Or is that lair tech? Yeah, he has that infestation pit, so this is going to be hive tech. Is now on the way, so he's probably going to go for some brood lords, hopefully. I would hope so. I would love for Brian to try and make this into a pretty good game to watch, as he is grabbing his 4th right now. And let's see if Breath is doing anything about these rocks right here. Not quite yet. Whoa, 4 changelings coming in from Brian here. Sneaking past that. Oh, nope, not sneaking past anything. Just the single zealot right there. Floating down his overseer into Breath's natural, his main. Gonna see if he can spy anything out. Maybe see what he's up against. And right now all he can see though is pylons. Oh, here comes an engagement right here. As Breath is going to be able to spot these roaches as soon as he takes a hold of that watchtower there. And he chases them away from the center of the map, getting some map control, getting all that good and wonderful, tasty map control. Now going into the creep a little too far, overextending himself, but against this army, Breath can be very confident in his victory, especially with these spine crawlers that will not be able to finish despite being back behind all these roaches. Very nice force fields getting laid down, trapping most of those roaches in there, and that is just a sad, sad sight to see, especially if you're a Zerg player. The spine crawlers will finish, but with all of these immortals, they're not going to pose much of a threat at all to Brett's army. Some Zerglings going around for a reach around, but those aren't going to be able to do much help either. Ugh. No force fields required, just from Guardian shields getting thrown down from those sentries, defending most of the damage away from those roaches. Now the spine crawlers going down, and that is probably a good spot to GG for a Zerg player. And yep, there we go, there's the GG. Let's go ahead and see where he went wrong. Oh, he didn't get enough roaches. If Brian wanted to do a little bit better in that game, he probably shouldn't have. He really lost in that first engagement there. Lost very, very big when he sent all of his roaches down here at the very start of the game, this very first engagement right here at Breath's 3rd. If I can find that. He just lost so many resources and then let Breath macro up after that. It was just a very, very crushing blow. Here we go. Just right there. You see how fast that went? That went by so fast. Anyway. So yeah. Big crushing blow. He had a full complement of roaches and he came back with this after reinforcements. So, yep. And then after that, Breath just kept on getting immortals, kept on getting more stalkers. Didn't even need zealots that many. Just, with those sentries, the force fields, the Guardian shield. Roaches were just not good. What he could have done is he could have stayed back and macroed with that 4th base and then get on some brood lords. That would have been able to help him out quite a bit, but I don't know, Brian. Maybe he's not very experienced in getting brood lords, but it seems that he was able to get up to that tier 3, though. The possibility of tier 3 at least, because there's that infestation pit spawning right there, and then after that he went into hive, but just wasn't good enough to beat Breath. At least not this time. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Rate, comment, subscribe if you'd like. I'm gonna have more StarCraft 2 videos coming up here. Got another league coming up here that I'm gonna be a part of really soon. Starts the 24th of July of 2012. So I will be posting a lot of videos from that league. So there's gonna be a lot more content to look forward to. So if you guys do subscribe, you know, take pride in the fact that you are listening, pretty much like listening to a radio station that's out in the middle of nowhere that not a lot of people actually listen to, so you can be part of that unique community and stuff. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and you guys have a good night.